Okay, if there was ever a testament and a glimpse into the stress into a presidency, take a step back and consider this. Trump has legal battles in nearly every blue state, not to mention the $500 million he spent personally to defend himself over a bunch of cases that were just let go after he won the election, trying to wrap up foreign wars, international trade deals, and the one country you thought you could count on to keep their word after we just went to bat for them turns around and violated the trust that they asked of us.
They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Someone had to say it. I mean, Trump, naturally is rightfully mad about this. And after Israel asked us to help them with technology they don't have, we did. And about 3 hours ago, Trump also told Netanyahu not to expect any further American offensive military action at all. Good. We put hundreds of planes and thousands of people at risk to solve a problem that they were at much greater risk of having to deal with than us. And they couldn't adhere to a peace deal? I see how Trump feels. He's the big brother. He just broke up a fight between his little brother, Israel, and a bully, Iran. Trump punched the bully, pushes his brother behind him, breaks up the fight, and says, okay, we're done here, guys. And as soon as he stepped away, they went right back to fighting again. Both sides are saying, oh, we're just retaliating. Enough. Look, most of Iran is a third world living under an antiquated religious rule. Doesn't excuse any military action they take, but you also kind of expect them to do stupid stuff at this. But it's not an effective, none of their strikes are that effective anyway. Israel, I expect more from, guys. I'm more disappointed in this. A civilized country that receives tens of billions of dollars from us. We just bailed them out of Iran getting a nuclear weapon. They gave Trump his word and then broke it. They're not victims here. I'm tired of the victim card being played too. They are way more advanced than Iran. They are not the victim, especially not in the last 24 hours. So you want to do it your way, Israel, you can do it without our support and without our funding. But if you want that support and funding, we, America and Trump, get a seat at the table, your table. So when you give us your word on something, you better keep it. At bare minimum, let us know if you intend on changing it. Seems fair. And if you're in the camp of saying, oh, well, Iran struck for Israel first. Well, look, Iran struck our bases in Qatar, too, after we turned their mountain into dust. Did we respond? No, because we weighed the proportions. And sometimes that's what the adults have to do to de-escalate things. This is what I have been saying from the beginning. And I thought we could trust Israel to keep their word on this, but I'm questioning that now. You're a sovereign country, Israel, so you can do whatever you want. And I've been a strong supporter of you guys, especially against groups like Hamas and in this Iran conflict. But don't ask for our support if you're not going to follow through with your commitments, regardless of what the #1 state sponsor of terrorism does, at least without talking to us first. Trump's comments shocked the world because no one's ever called out Israel. Look, we're the superpower of the world. We are the beacon of freedom. We are the one everyone calls when they need help. And this is what Trump's anger was about today. And he's probably been up all night dealing with this. We do everything for everybody else. Money, military, diplomacy, trade. We help everyone, even when we got our own problems like $37 trillion in debt here at home. And yet somebody who we considered our greatest ally in the Middle East doesn't want to give us the basic respect of following through with their word. That's not cooperation. This is why Trump is so hard up on tariffs. This is why he's willing to absolutely eviscerate other world leaders on the Twitter machine. And this is why MSNBC might call him abrasive, but I call him my president for that. Because that's exactly what I voted for. The first guy with a spine since Ronald Reagan. And you libs thought he was your worst nightmare before? The fact that he just stopped Iran from having a nuke and some fringe Dems like Al Green and friends want to impeach him for it? I mean, what little concern he had for your party's feelings and process has left the chat. But those same people, not a word when Obama bombed the leader of Libya's convoy that led to his capture and death, that's essentially overthrowing a nation. Look, in the beginning of this tweet, he dropped so many bombs on AOC that she almost needed a binding resolution from NATO to keep her job. He finished by saying, so go ahead, try impeaching me. Again, make my day. Careful, libs. Because up until now, he's actually at least made some effort to get along with some of you, and now he might just run you over. This is the left. Jasmine Crockett, just like classlessly throwing around allegations. Who, by the way, this is probably why she came in last place in the vote to be ranking member on the House Oversight Committee.
A leader, if you want to call him that, who has decided that he is going to consistently violate the Constitution, consistently violate all existing laws, and there so far has not been a check on him as it relates to the legislative branch.
And no one challenged her on this in that press gaggle. It's okay, Jasmine, Congresswoman, if you can imagine, she's actually a lawyer who passed the bar. So let's treat her like one, as generous as that may be. Prosecute your case. I mean, like, what law is Trump violating? What part of the Constitution is he violating? Let's get specific here. Don't just throw things out. Are you mad because, you know, he didn't, what did you say again? Holla at you before bombing Iran?
I go back in on Monday. You could have hollered at us on Monday. If you truly felt like there was something, like, there is nothing that they will say that will make me believe that this action needed to take place.
Oh, you took the weekend off. Trump didn't, and not hollering at you is not a crime. In fact, nothing he has done is a crime. And you want to know how I know that? Because he's the most investigated and prosecuted and probably persecuted man in the history of ever, and nothing stuck. You just don't like him, which is not a crime. But he should actually get a medal for that. But you guys played this game for 4 years, okay? 4 years, and now you have Trump again for another 4 years. Like, we're only like 5 months into this presidency. You guys got a lot of time left. Yeah, you better pace yourself on this energy. Maybe instead of crying about absolutely everything, even John Fetterman noticed that you guys cry about absolutely everything. Just be happy that you've got a guy that's standing up for our country. Unless you're rooting for Iran. You can't win this, libs, because America is fed up with you Democrats. Your campaigns of hatred and all the other stupid stuff you guys do. Let me give you a free lesson what America wants. America wants a president like you saw this morning. We want somebody who's perfectly imperfect. Somebody who has emotion, who's, after being up all night, dealing with ancient rivalries for the last 2,000 years, gets angry, sometimes drops an F-bomb. Not one real American is offended by this, let's be honest. You can grasp and clutch your pearls over at the Washington Post all you want, but we're facing real problems here, which are going to require real solutions from somebody who's willing to make tough decisions. And to be honest, if he wants to drop a couple more F-bombs in the process, I'm here for it. Because right now, according to ICE, actually since Sunday, they've arrested 11 more Iranian nationals in the U.S. illegally across 8 states, including a former sniper from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. And what have you guys been doing in light of this? You've been writing about the L.A. riots, crying about poor innocent illegals getting deported. Well, these are some of the illegals getting deported, these Iranians. This is why you're getting tuned out by most of America, liberals. Because after the energy this morning, Trump's trip to NATO should be lit. Anything like some of his other appearances when he pushed the guy out of the way. We're going to be talking about it tomorrow.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.